This small grey plastic frisbee is often blamed for destroying one of the best Star Wars toys ever. Now, controversially, I'm going to say I don't think that's true. But more importantly, what is it and what does it do? Well, if I was to show you this and this little fella here, it might give you more of an idea. This is the Cylon Raider, and it's from the Mattel 1978-79. It's from the Mattel 1978 toy line, and it's really quite cool. But it does have a somewhat interesting, if not dark, history. Where's my bit of paper? Where's my notes on? There it is. Let's skip back a little bit to the late 1970s and the science fiction boom that was about to be created by George Lucas. Now, this is something I call the Lucas paradox. He originally wanted to make a Buck Rogers movie. They wouldn't give him the rights to it, so he created Star Wars. And the heads exploded on millions of people around the world. So every single TV company, movie studio, and anyone else who was worth the salt was scrabbling to find out what property they owned in the world of sci-fi. And if they didn't own anything, they were going to create their own. And this means even from the late 70s through the 80s, 90s, 2000s to the present day, the sci-fi film industry is still going strong. So are the toys. All because someone wasn't allowed to make a Buck Rogers film. If it wasn't for Star Wars, we wouldn't have Disney's Black Hole, Spaceballs, Alien, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Because the first one, well, was that really a kind of remake of 2001? Or am I just imagining it? Of course, Buck Rogers, the TV show, which I think also was a movie originally and then turned into a TV show. Ice Pirates, yeah, that was pretty terrible. We got Dune, I like that, but I don't think it was very popular at the time. Last Starfighter, terrible film. Battle Beyond the Stars, even worse. And of course, we got Battlestar Galactica. Now, I always do this where I'm relying on memory and it's not always that clear anymore because I'm getting old, but I think the foundations of the idea for Battlestar Galactica came from some kind of book about the Mormon church, the story of the 12 founding colonies. It does have some religious undertones, but maybe they're not glaringly obvious in the TV show. But I'm not bothered about that. The thing that interests me is the toys, and I think this is 78, and it's going to say 79 when I look closely. And I don't know how I'm going to edit that out. So I'm going to say this is from the Mattel toy line from 1978. I've got the DVD here, and that says 1979 on the back. DVD, it's a VHS, what am I talking about? I've got the VHS here in my hand, not a DVD. Can I see this well enough? Yeah. It's the Mattel toy line from 1979, not 1978 like I said earlier. I'm jumping about a lot here, but let's just take a look at this toy for what it is. So we have cockpit there, we have a little Cylon there. This is the old man forgetting what things are called. This is the Viper, which was a great spaceship, and I think this was the original design for the Buck Rogers Starfighter and they scrapped it. Or was it the other way around? I can't remember. These are all important details that you think I should research and put into a video, not just make it all up as you go along. But it makes for much more fun in the comments when you tell me how wrong I am. Anyway, that's the Colonial Viper. This is the Cylon Raider, and we've got it with two minifigures. Now, I've got some other Battlestar figures here. I don't have many of them. There's this green guy that I don't know what he's called, and this guy who is... yeah, he was the captain of the ship, but I've only got him with one arm missing, and he's not in great condition. So that's all the Battlestar figures I've got at the moment. I think actually what I'm going to have to do is get a few more of them, because I'm building up a bit of a display now. Anyway, back to the Cylon Raider. Little guy sits in the front there. These wings come out, and you've got two rockets that fire here. And this is where it all goes wrong for Mattel. Because they've messed up not getting the Star Wars license, they jumped on the opportunity to produce these toys. They actually created some really, really cool toys. But, and it's a big but, this is where the dark history comes in. Well, these rockets here were actually involved in a very, very, very big lawsuit. One child had fired one into his mouth pretending it was a cave and later died in hospital, and a second child had got one wedged in his throat or somewhere in his head. Basically, being America, the lawsuit was massive. Now, these obviously had quite a range and fired quite a long way. What happened to the toy afterwards and the compromise to still being able to make them is probably what destroyed this toy line. Are you ready for this? So that's what they came up with. Okay, you don't have to go and pick them up off the floor, but that is a massive anticlimax. And I know I'm saying this and someone actually died. It's the same with the Viper as well. So if you ever come across one of these with the rocket firing bits in, it's an early one and it's quite valuable. To be fair, this version with him is worth a few quid as well. And it's going to look great on display in the museum now. But because of that lawsuit, and because of that firing missile that is now really disappointing, I think this toy line, if it hasn't maxed out already, is still going to climb a bit. That this toy here, the rocket firing Boba Fett, was scrapped because of that. And I'm going to say something that I think might be quite controversial. Even though they showed it on the card backs of figures, I don't think Kenner ever intended to make this toy. Or halfway through trying to make this toy, they realised that it was just not going to be possible. But that is a conversation for another video, and I'm going to get back to this. So while I was talking before, I was thinking to myself about this toy, and I reckon this is Corgi's 4th best toy ever, after the James Bond DB5, the Batmobile, and the Toyota 2000 GT. Then this was the next real kind of out of the park superstar in terms of their toy range. And this was 1977, and I'm going to be really careful firing this because there we go. So I popped these out, and these are tiny when you compare them to one of those. Oh, I'm rocking everything. This is me, Mr. Clumsy. So that missile is tiny compared to that, but I don't remember Corgi ever getting sued or having an issue with a kid firing one of those up his nose or getting it wedged in his ear or inhaling it and being severely injured or even worse. And that makes me wonder why these missiles were so deadly and dangerous. It must have been either the force of the spring or just an unfortunate size. Maybe they should have been a bit bigger and then it would have been more obvious, or a lot smaller. And then, as Corgi liked to say, that would easily pass through the digestive system of a small child, even though they never actually tested it. And their approach to health and safety at the time was a sort of, meh, it'll be all right, won't it? So I think it was just unfortunate with what I'm going to say otherwise is really a very well thought out, quite cool toy. It sort of looks like the thing in the film. You get a little man that goes inside it. There are some other figures that you can get that aren't as good. It displays really well. It does have this nice little feature. One side is a little bit looser than the other. It's just a pressure fit underneath, but I think considering that is, well, it's only a few years younger than me, it's in much better nick. Although I did have to do a lot of cleaning on this. I don't know if you can see the colour of the back of that there. It's probably not picking it up very well, but I did do quite a comprehensive clean on this, and I know how much you love my cleaning and restoration videos, so I've spared you that this time. It has come up really nicely, and I do rate that as a toy. I think it's pretty cool, especially with the little fella to go in there. That is going to look absolutely awesome upstairs in the museum. Quickly, I wanted to say thank you to all you, the subscribers that came this weekend and said hello and had a look around the shop. I really hope you enjoyed it, and it was great meeting and chatting with you. I've got some incredible things that subscribers have sent me. I'm going to be showing you a video of all the stuff that you've sent in, but thank you for sending me in such incredible cool toys for the museum, which is where this is going to be going on display. But if you are popping down and you do want to come and see the shop and museum, please message me through Facebook first, just to check if we are open or not, because I don't want to disappoint or upset anyone. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please comment below, and any mistakes that I've made, and I know I've made a few that aren't factually correct, please pull me up on them again in the comment section below, and I will put them right, and I'll try and have a better memory of, I'm going to have to try and improve my toy history memory. It's really got rather rusty over the last couple of years, and this is all stuff I should know because I lived through it. But for now, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon for another video.